In a village cradled by verdant hills and whispering winds, lived Adaeze, a woman with a heart full of longing. Year after year, she prayed for the blessing of a child, but the gods remained silent. The villagers, steeped in tradition, began to whisper, their eyes casting shadows of pity and disdain upon her. One fateful night, when the moon was full and the river shimmered with silver light, Adaeze ventured to the sacred waters. Kneeling by the river bank, she poured her heart into a prayer, her tears mingling with the cool flowing water. Olammiri, goddess of the river, hear my plea. Bless me with a child, and I shall forever honor you. As the words left her lips, the river glowed brighter, and a gentle voice echoed through the night. Your wish shall be granted, Adaeze. A child of the river shall be born to you. The village buzzed with curiosity as Adaeze's belly swelled with life. 9 moons later, under the same radiant moon, Olammiri was born. Her name meaning the blessing of the water. Her eyes sparkled with the depth of the river, and her cry echoed the song of the water. At first, the villagers celebrated this miracle, attributing the birth to the goddess's favor. But as Olammiri grew, they noticed she was different. Water seemed to obey her, dancing and swirling at her command. Some found it enchanting, but others, fearful of the unknown, began to whisper anew. Olammiri's childhood was marked by moments of wonder and dread. She could summon rain during droughts and coerce fish to leap from the river into waiting nets. Her laughter was a melody, her presence a balm. Yet, the more she revealed her gifts, the more the villagers recoiled. She's not like us, they murmured. She is a child of the river, not of this earth. Despite her mother's assurances, Olammiri felt the growing distance, the fear in their eyes cutting deeper than any blade. The whispers turned to murmurs, then to accusations. One summer, a terrible drought struck. The river's flow dwindling to a trickle. The crops withered, and the people grew desperate. The village elders, searching for a scapegoat, found an easy target in Olammiri. It's her fault, they cried. She's angered the gods. She must be a witch. The village, once a place of warmth, turned cold and hostile. Adaeze pleaded with them, but fear had already poisoned their hearts. They gathered in the square, the air thick with tension and the weight of impending doom. In a harrowing trial devoid of justice, Olammiri stood accused. The elders, eyes hard and voices unyielding, condemned her as a witch. The village, a chorus of distrust, echoed their verdict. You are banished, Olammiri. Leave this place and never return, decreed the head elder. With tears streaming down her face, Adaeze could do nothing as her daughter was driven out, cast into the wilderness with nothing but the clothes on her back and the blessings of the river in her heart. Olammiri wandered through the forest, her heart heavy with sorrow and betrayal. Nights were cold and the days were long, but she found solace by the river, its gentle whispers a comfort. She spoke to Olammiri, seeking answers and strength. Why, goddess? Why have they forsaken me? The river's voice, soothing and wise, responded, "You are destined for greater things, Olammiri. Embrace your gifts, for they are your true strength." One moonlight night, as Olammiri sat by the river, Olammiri appeared before her, a vision of ethereal beauty. The goddess touched her forehead, bestowing upon her the full breadth of her powers. "You are my child, Olammiri. Embrace your destiny. Your journey is just beginning." Olammiri felt a surge of power and purpose. She trained by the river, honing her abilities, learning to control the water, to speak with its creatures, and to call forth rain and storms. Time passed, and Olammiri grew stronger, wiser. She encountered mystical beings in the forest, spirits of the trees and animals, who guided and befriended her. They taught her the ways of the natural world, and she learned to live in harmony with it. Despite her solitude, Olammiri found a sense of belonging and peace she had never known. The forest became her home, the river, her family. One day, Olammiri discovered a small community on the edge of the forest, a place where people lived in harmony with nature. Here, her gifts were welcomed and celebrated. She became a healer, using her powers to help those in need. In this new home, Olammiri found acceptance and love. She formed bonds with people who appreciated her for who she was, and her heart began to heal. Back in her former village, disaster struck. A relentless drought parched the land, and the river shrank to a mere stream. Crops failed, and the hunger loomed. Desperation gripped the villagers as they remembered the child they had cast out, the one who could command the waters. Could she save us? They wondered, their hearts heavy with regret. Olammiri learned of the village's plight through the whispers of the wind and the murmur of the river. Her heart ached for her mother and the people who had once been her kin. The river goddess appeared to her again, urging her to choose compassion over bitterness. "Return, Olammiri. Show them the power of forgiveness and the strength of your spirit." With a heavy heart and a resolute spirit, Olammiri returned to her village. She walked into the square, head held high, and faced the people who had cast her out. Murmurs of surprise and hope rippled through the crowd. "I have come to help," she declared. "Despite everything, I will save you." Olammiri called upon the river goddess and summoned the rain, restoring the flow of the river and breathing life back into the parched land. The villagers watched in awe as the skies opened, their hearts swelling with gratitude and shame. The village elders approached her, heads bowed. "We were wrong, Olammiri. Can you forgive us?" With a gracious smile, Olammiri replied, "Forgiveness is the way of the river. It flows forward, carrying away the past." The village began to heal. The once hostile community now united in their respect and admiration for Olammiri. She became their healer, their protector, and their bridge to the divine. Adaeze, overjoyed at her daughter's return, found peace and pride in Olammiri's acceptance. Olammiri's presence brought harmony. Her powers a blessing rather than a curse. The village thrived, and Olammiri's story became a testament to the power of forgiveness and the strength of the human spirit. Years passed, and Olammiri's legend grew. Children listened to tales of the girl who was born of the river, banished and returned as a savior. Her legacy became a beacon of hope and a lesson in compassion. In the twilight of her years, Olammiri sat by the river, the place where her journey had begun. The water sang to her, a melody of peace and continuity, a song of life's endless flow. As the sun set on her final day, Olammiri closed her eyes, feeling the embrace of the river goddess one last time. Her spirit joined the flow of the river, her essence becoming part of the eternal song of the waters. The villagers gathered by the riverbank felt a deep sense of loss, but also profound gratitude. They sang songs of the river and of Olammiri, whose life had forever changed theirs. And so, the story of Olammiri, the blessing of the water, lived on. An enduring tale of love, forgiveness, and the unbreakable bond between the human heart and the spirit of nature.